Hey everyone, I'm Brandon.
And I'm Remy, and you're tuned into a life worth loving. This is so exciting for us because we have been meaning to start this YouTube for quite some time.
Absolutely. And before we get started, we want to thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking. Thank you for sharing. Oh my God, we're so grateful for you all.
We're blown away actually because we had no idea that we would have just under 200 subscribers in less than 24 hours. Like, that to us is crazy.
Wow.
So we are so blessed for your engagement, for your interest even. And we just want to make sure that we're serving you guys along the way.
Absolutely. Serving, just, we're here for y'all. So we started this channel because we didn't have many resources during our journey of dating, celibacy, and marriage. So we want to be that for y'all. We want y'all to be able to tap in and get with us and speak with us. We want to be, totally interactive.
We want to be in community with you guys too.
Yeah, community is the big one.
It's so important to have community, especially during seasons of dating. And we're just really excited to be in the same space. I know we're in our home and you're in your home, but we're together in this. We are together in this.
Yeah, so thank you for being here with us, and we want to share how God has been blessing us through these past 2 years, less than 2 years. He's done amazing things. So this channel is to share with you guys just how we've been blessed, and hopefully we can encourage you right where you are. And y'all can encourage us.
We need the encouragement too. We want this to be a two-way street. And we just want to show you guys like what happens when God creates a marriage. Like, it's such a special union. It's such a sweet relationship. And we decided to call it a life worth loving because it's important to love every aspect of your life, even the parts you don't like all the time. And we all have those parts. So we're going to talk about that too. The parts we don't like all the time. But just so we can give you guys a little bit of background, we got married in November. We're newlyweds.
Last year, 2021.
We got married November 2021. Yeah. We're newlyweds. And what happened?
We met right before the...
I'm pregnant, guys, so like brain fog.
Update. Yeah, so we met right before the pandemic. And wow, the meeting process, that getting to know one another, we really built a foundation of friendship. Yeah. That friendship part was key. It really is. It's something that we carry with us to this day right now. Like Remy is. Yeah, we're friends.
We love hanging out together.
We're not under duress. For real.
Blink twice if you need rest.
This is, Remy's my homie. Like,
his homie just got lipstick on his shirt. It's
okay. Sorry, it's all good. Me. Yeah. We're good friends. Like, sometimes I forget about my other friends because I'm at home,
With my bestie, with my wife.
My bestie. So, I know a lot of my brothers out here can feel me, you with your young lady, that's your friend, that's your, especially when you got that anointed one with you, everything else is
secondary.
No. Yeah. So, our background,
we're going to actually get into that more. What we want to do with this episode is talk to you guys about where we are currently, but like just a very quick snippet of our lives. We met right before the pandemic, and then we started dating, and we're going to talk about how we broke up during our dating season and we got back together. That getting back together put us on the path to engagement. Following engagement, we were married 9 months later. So we spent 9 months engaged, and we've currently been married for going on 10 months married.
10 months?
Yeah, it's going on 10 months because we celebrated our 9 month in August. So at this moment, we're almost in our 10th month of marriage, and we want to talk to you guys about every single step along the way. But one important reason why we're doing this channel is to have give you guys transparent updates on our lives and do it in real time. So right now, our most recent season is pregnancy, And we just feel like we have such a beautiful testimony of our journey to pregnancy, and we want to dive in and tell you guys that story.
Mm-hmm. And it's not just to talk about ourselves, right?
Yeah.
This is an open conversation just to share what we're going through, because we sit in the living room like this and we talk about things and we're like, you know, there gotta be some people out here going through the same thing. So, you know, why not just put it out there, you know, so we can encourage and you can encourage, you know, because we need your encouragement with the things that we're going through. We need your prayers. So when we put it out, just, you know, hit us up, love on us, because we're gonna love on y'all.
We're going to love on y'all too. This
For
is a
sure.
love fest. So we're going to talk about our pregnancy today and just give you guys the update as to how we got here. And we thought that this particular story is really important because we don't want to just give you guys the highlight reel. And if you look at our Instagram, it may look like, oh my God, they just suddenly gotten pregnant. So we just want to let you know it wasn't like that. We had a real journey of no's before we got to this beautiful yes. And just as important as it is to celebrate the yes, it is to remember what you learned in the season of no. Let's just get straight into it. And you want to talk about how we decided to start trying? We decided
on our honeymoon, and shout out to our community for our lovely gifts to get us a honeymoon. We thank you. Thank you. We love you.
Because it probably would not have been possible within our own marriage.
Right.
Because we spent all we had on the wedding and moving. Well, he had just moved out to LA too, so
we exhausted everything.
Everything.
But all on faith. So honeymoon, we had a beautiful time in Mexico.
Yeah.
And we spent a lot of nights, you know, at the beach, you know, just walking and talking and just sitting, just watching the sunset. And we just prayed and just had visions for our lives. We shared our visions for what we see in the future. And of course, children were on the way. But just to go back, we stated that we started dating right before the pandemic, so we were really fresh. You know, we missed out on a lot.
We still have never had a movie date, by the way. We've never been to the movies together.
We never been to the movies, but we do our thing. But we missed a lot of, you know, those little cute dates. So
because it was long distance too. We weren't just in the pandemic.
Right.
It was long distance in the pandemic. So where normal couples have that time to explore life together with each other, we didn't have that. So we thought that we wanted to take a year before bringing children into this world to just like spend together,
to enjoy one another,
in newlywed bliss. And so many people kept suggesting, like, you don't want to bring kids right now, la 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 la. So we kind of like took that on. Instead of like asking God, what is it that you want for us?
Yeah.
So we were at our honeymoon, and then we spent countless nights, as Brandon was saying.
Yeah. So we just spoke on what we wanted. What did Brandon and Remy want for our lives? And honestly, before the wedding, we wanted a year together and no babies interrupting. But now we realize that a baby is just another blessing, and as we envision our child, we didn't want to put the baby off. We didn't want to delay it further. We didn't
want to wait a year. We wanted to start. We want this.
We want the baby now.
Yeah.
And
we were like, okay, let's.
Yeah. So I think that night, we skipped dinner.
Yeah, we went straight to the room and we started trying.
We started trying right there.
And we also saw like multiple babies in our future, so we were like, let's just get started. And then we get them all at the house at the same time. Then we have our lives back, but like, let's just share it. We have such a good life. We love each other so much, and we're like, this could be fun. Like, it doesn't have to be something that we dread, like, oh, let's do it in a year.
For sure.
We want it now.
Yeah.
So we thought, well, we did want it now, but now didn't happen for us as we planned. But we definitely did skip dinner and go trying that night. And we were fully convinced that by the time we got back to the States, that we would have the most exciting news to share with our family, because just as excited as we were, they were. Every phone call is, are you pregnant yet? When am I getting a grandbaby? When's my
Where Remy
niece?
at? She's sleeping. She's pregnant.
She's pregnant. Every time I got sick, my mom was like, you're pregnant. You're pregnant. So like, we really enjoyed those jokes and stuff too, because we wanted to be pregnant, but we didn't want them to know that we were trying. So we went from, so we got home, and then January came, and I'm like, I thought we were pregnant, so I got a period. So I was a little like discouraged, like maybe we did it wrong. I don't know. Maybe it just like didn't.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, it was a long time. So like maybe we didn't do it right. Let's try again.
Crazy.
And it was during the season that we were about to fast, so we were watching a special sermon through our online church called Transformation Church, and Pastor Mike Todd was talking about vision, and he said, see it, believe it, touch it. So we touched my belly in agreement for vision for pregnancy. And at that moment, we decided to stand in faith that we would get pregnant, not really realizing how much longer the journey was going to be for us. So we try again, and we continuously try, and February comes around, and I come on my period again. And at that point, I'm like, what is going on here? So then the feelings of what if starts to creep in. Like, what if we can't get pregnant? What if I'm not able to provide my husband with a child? What if I can't give I can't make our parents, grandparents, and I'm my mom's only child and her only hope, although like she has everybody else's kids too. So I had like a lot of guilt, like what if I can't do this? And of course it's not me, it's not Brandon. Like having a baby is a God ordained thing. So I think to even have that expectation on ourselves was unhealthy. So it was just like, it was so much to carry, and our burden is supposed to be light, not heavy. When it is heavy, we need to just hand it up to the Lord. And that was such a tough season for me. But Brandon is so optimistic naturally that even as I was going through the trauma and the sadness, he was still so encouraging. But like at some point, it kind of got to you too, because of how I was handling it. Right.
We praying, things are going to get better. We're going to get pregnant. Don't worry, babe. It's just not our time. We maybe later down the line, towards the end of the year, maybe next year. But we're still trying. So at some point, it's like, all right, God, we trust in you, but what's going on? Why you not hooking us up? Because you hear some of these stories, just one try, accidental pregnancies, and there's no accidents over here. We're very intentional. We're trying to get this baby, and it's not happening.
That reminds me. Remember we were talking about how we expect God to be Amazon? And I wish I had this word then, but we just got this word a couple days ago. We were driving talking about something. But we expect for God to be Amazon Prime, where we can pick the delivery date, we can track it, we know exactly when it's coming, we get the picture of it once it's at the door. And God doesn't work like that. Like, we can't select our delivery date for blessings. And we were expecting it to happen on our time. And we had to release that, because A, that's so unhealthy, and B, God's timing is his timing for a reason.
And I want to hop in on that. Sorry to interrupt.
That's okay, baby. Go ahead.
But we also spoke about this, where we've been blessed so much during our pregnancy. That even with our doctors, for us to have 2-3 different doctors and a doula, we're so blessed with these 3 professionals that can come together all at once. I believe, and we believe, that God was working it out. God is orchestrating his plans. Sometimes, a doctor is busy over here, or, a hospital isn't available to take a new patient. So we just have to constantly remind ourselves that God is working, and when we do things in our time, they won't play out the way you know, they're supposed to be. They're going to play out how we want them to be, and that's not how it's supposed to be. God has the ultimate plan. He's the author and the creator. So we have to be patient.
Yeah.
And as you know, as our choir say, what's the gospel group we like? Wait on the Lord. We just gonna wait on Him.
Maverick City.
Maverick City. Yeah, Maverick City. Shout out to y'all.
I'm like,
We're gonna right at the choir. We're gonna wait on the Lord. It's about what we do when we wait.
Yeah.
So
I was panicking while we were waiting.
Yeah.
He was optimistic while we were waiting.
But that's the power of two becoming one.
Yeah.
Sometimes when one's faith is withering, it's important that we band together and I intercede and have the faith when my wife doesn't have the faith, and when she's not strong enough, that's when I step in, and vice versa. We have to stand there and pray for one another. When I'm lacking confidence, it's important that Remy comes over and, you know, puts her hands on me. Not like that, but she puts her hands on me. She puts her hands on me and prays for me and lifts my head up, because we need that. We need that encouragement. So
two is better than one.
Two is better than one, and even when it's one, even when it's one, I almost lost my thought. Even when it's one, you're not alone. You know, the Lord is always with you. So.
Baby got words today, y'all. I don't know if this is a YouTube or if this is a sermon, but yeah, that's true. You're never right. You're never alone. But yeah, that was a very stressful time for us, and just so we're being sensitive to people, I just want to say that I do understand that our 3-month period of trying and waiting may seem like a drop of water in the bucket compared to someone whose journey is taking years and years to years. So we just want to let you know that please just rely on God, release it, because you can't control it. If you look at the apps, if you look at the ovulation, if you look at the period schedule, you still can't control it. All that stuff works in your favor, but God has the ultimate say. And for us, it happened when we released it. And this was in March. March was the worst month. March, I had the most difficult time processing the fact that it didn't happen again. And I was on the phone with one of my dearest friends who I love so much. And before I took the pregnancy test, because I was excited, I was like, I'm taking a test. She's like, before you do, don't look forward to it saying yes, or don't look forward to it saying no. Just know that it is God's decision regardless, and that His answer is always good. So she encouraged me to have peace regardless of what. And that word came back to me yesterday for something else that we'll talk about later. But she encouraged me to have peace for either outcome. And once I was able to process that, as much as I want this, I don't want it a second before God wants this for us. Like, I don't want to do this by myself. Brandon doesn't want to do this by himself. We need the provision and the power of the Lord to get us through this pregnancy and to get us through parenting. So if it takes another month, it takes another month. If it takes another year, it takes another year. So it was in March where I had the hardest time, and also the sweetest revelation through my friend. And when I got my period that time, it was also rough, because our parents were really heavy on us then about, when are you guys bringing a baby into this world?
They were laying it on us.
And
every conversation.
All of our friends, like everyone, and no one, out of respect for the people, they didn't know. You know what I mean? Like, no one actually knew what we were going through, and if they did, they would have been sensitive. Like, no one in our community or in our lives is just like so insensitive to where they would intentionally inflict hurt on us by asking us if we're pregnant yet, knowing that we're trying.
Right.
So we had to give grace in those moments and not take it too personally, although it was still very heartbreaking, because we want to say yes. We want to say, happy birthday, here's a baby. We want to say, like,
we're trying to show up for everybody else with a baby.
Yeah, and God was like, your story's not going to play out that way. It's not going to be glamorized. It's not going to be planned. I'm going to take you through it, and you're going to have to bring people into it. So as this month was happening, it was really difficult, but I decided to put my faith to the test. And while I was bleeding, I ordered a spoon that I was going to use to tell Brandon that we were pregnant, because I knew it was coming. I just didn't know when. But I stepped out on faith and I said, I'm going to order this "we're pregnant" spoon so I have it when it happens. Yeah. And during the times of uncertainty during that month, I would just look at that spoon and I'm like, this is going to be my truth one day. It's going to be my truth. So good. And it ended up being our truth. So that was March. And then we got to April. And this is this year. This is 2022. We got to April, and then one specific day, we came home from church, and we were laying in bed watching Bridgerton. That's our show. And more so mine. Brandon just like pretends he's into it.
Tag along until I fall asleep.
And he fell asleep, and I was so anxious. Was I a day late or not even yet?
You were approaching a day.
I was approaching a day late. Like, it was the next morning, and I was like, oh my God, I'm not bleeding yet. Let me take a test. So I took a pregnancy test while Brandon was asleep because I wanted to surprise him by the time he woke up. And, and I also want to add that even in the midst of trying, like, God still honors what we want to. And I wanted to surprise Brandon with this pregnancy, regardless of like whether or not it happened that month. I just knew when it did happen, I wanted to surprise him instead of him being there when I peed on the stick. So I took the pregnancy test and it came back. Oh, sorry, I forgot to put my phone on vibrate.
All good.
So I took the pregnancy test and it came back negative. Oh, hold on, wait. Yeah, it came back. I was going to say, before I took the pregnancy test, I made sure not to let it dictate my mood, because once again, I finally come to peace with it not happening right now, but I'm still anxious anyways. So I took it and it said no, and I was like, okay, cool. I hid it away, didn't say anything to Brandon, got back into bed, finished watching Bridgerton, still planning out all the baby stuff on my Pinterest board anyways. And then the next day, my period didn't come again. And I have such a regular cycle, like to the hour every single month, regular. So when it's not there, I'm like, okay, something is up. But I wasn't having any symptoms. There were no PMS. I wasn't like giving you a hard time or stressing you out emotionally or just like any of the normal PMS things. No tenderness, like nothing. So I'm like, maybe I'm not. But still, let me just take a test. Didn't have one. So I come home from work early that day, and in my excitement to get home and take a test, I forget to buy one. So I had to get one postmated, and I was like, this time I wanted to say pregnant or not pregnant. So I was like so specific, like get the clear blue test, because like, you know, I'm comfortable if it's a no, but if it's a yes, I want to see that yes. So the test comes around like 4:30. I have to leave to pick up Brandon for work at 5 because he got off at 5:30, and we had one car at the time. So I take the test and I put the test down and I pray. And I'm like, Lord, regardless, I have peace. Whether it's a yes, whether it's a no, I'm believing in you and I'm believing in your timing. And this pregnancy test is not going to dictate my mood. It's not going to dictate my worth, because that's what they were doing to me. The tests were dictating my worth. So I didn't want that anymore. So I had to like break free from that. And I'm like, if it's not, it's not. I love Brandon so much. And one thing that happened during this trying time was us realizing that baby or not, we're enough for each other. Right. And having that stable foundation and that firm foundation allowed us to get through this trying time, but we came out of it so much closer. Our spiritual intimacy was closer because we had to hold each other up more. Our emotional connection was stronger because I was going through it so much and so often that he had to, like he said, he had to intercede for me in faith and just like be there. And even though he was more optimistic, it still ended up affecting him because I was going through it.
Yeah, our marriage was like, it was tested, but not in a bad way. It was like, okay.
It was through the fire.
Yeah, it was really through the fire.
But we weren't in the fire alone. There was a third in the fire.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
But I was just going to say, you know, I really had to step up and learn how to, you know, step up for you and protect you, you know, through whatever. So that's all I want to
You
add.
did a good job doing that. You did protect me, and I felt very seen during that time. And yeah, I just had to break free from all of that and realize that we are enough together, and we love children so much that if God decided to make us parents another way, we would have been okay with that too. We just had the desire in our heart to be parents. That would have happened regardless. We would have been mommy and daddy or something. So yeah, I took the test and I'm praying everything I just told you guys. And then I go back and I look at it, and y'all, your girl was overjoyed by that result. It said pregnant. Pregnant. And I could not believe it. I screamed, I cried, I jumped for joy.
Yeah.
I prayed. I dropped to the ground and I was just like, thank you, Lord, for this yes. After all the no's, I'm grateful for them because this yes is worth it all. All the tears, all the birth complications. And I like to tell females how worthy they are every single day, but I could not believe it for myself during that season. So going through it just reminded me just of so much that I needed to be reminded of. And I wouldn't change any of that for that yes. So I go to pick up Brandon from work. And he's like, babe, why are you so weird? I'm like, because you're so beautiful and I love you so much. But I always tell him he's beautiful.
I thought she was hyping me up because you was late. I was late picking me up.
And he thought I was being weird. But I kept telling him he was beautiful because I'm looking at my baby daddy. Like, I'm not looking at my husband anymore. Well, you're still my husband, but you got a new title. And it's called Baby Daddy. So, we get home. And I was just so weird. I'm like, let's make soup.
Yeah, let's make soup. I'm like, babe, let's just order something because I don't feel like cooking. I don't feel like cutting up carrots and cleaning chicken. Because you want a chicken noodle soup.
Noodle soup. The most complicated soup with all the steps.
So we relaxing, and then out of nowhere, I think I was in the bedroom, and she's like, babe, let's go to Cheesecake. Let's go to Cheesecake Factory. I want some cheesecake. And I'm like, babe, come on, like we just about to settle down, but I'm like, you know what? Let's go. So we got dressed and we headed out to Cheesecake Factory,
which is right down the street, by the way. So we walked, and and I'm just so happy during this walk. And he's like, you are strange, but I'm like always happy. So I must have been.
Yeah, it was next level. Like she's grabbing my hand, looking me in my eyes, and just. Like straight fairy tale. I'm like, wow.
Like, what has happened to my wife? A little cycle today.
So like she's just hugging me, like she just stop in the middle of the street, just
literally risking it all.
Me. I'm like, what is going on?
So we get to the Cheesecake Factory, and I needed to get the host alone. So after we check in, I'm like, baby, I gotta go to the bathroom. So I go to the host and I pull out the spoon and I'm like, hey, here's the spoon. I need you to make sure this gets to our server, and the server takes it to the kitchen and they put it in the cheesecake. I'm pregnant and I need my husband to know. And the host was like, okay, congratulations. I guess it was just a lot for her to digest, but she's like, congratulations. I'm like, thank you. So me being dramatic, I get back to the table, and I think in my next life or my past life, I'm an actress. So I get back to the table and I'm like, oh, baby. He's like, what's wrong? And I'm like, I'm spotting. And I don't even know how convincing I was because I was just so excited, but I tried to say I was spotting in case he was on to me. And then he was once again just so encouraging, like, baby, it's okay. We'll try again. Like, trying is fun. We'll do it again. It's no worries. Like, it's just us. It's fine. Like, we are good. So I'm like, you're right. And then the server comes, and Brandon's like on his phone, like looking at a car. You were Googling something. So he wasn't like paying attention when the server got there. And then she puts it down, and it's this plate with the cheesecake on it. And it says congratulations across the rim of the cake.
And I was so
confused. And then
confused.
there's a spoon in it.
Yeah. Congratulations. I had no idea. I'm like, I haven't been promoted.
I wasn't promoted.
Yeah, she wasn't promoted. Like, what's going on? What's the congratulations for? So Then she's like, pick up the spoon. And I pick up the spoon. I still can't see because it's dark out. So I had to open up the flashlight on my phone. And it said, we're pregnant. And I read it about 4 times before we're pregnant really meant in my brain that Remy and I were pregnant. And I was so like overjoyed and happy. I just kept looking around and asking Remy, like, is she serious?
I
like,
had the test with me.
Yeah, she pulled it out. And wow, I think did I cry?
Cried. Yeah.
I cried right in the middle of the restaurant. And I was just so excited. I'm speechless again.
Oh, it was so sweet.
But yeah, I'm super grateful for how Remy decided to surprise me. And I think we just like banded together even more, just doing research on new parents and
started ordering books right away.
Ordering books,
yeah,
telling our close. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was going to say just a reiteration of God really does care about the details, because at the end of it all, I wanted to surprise Brandon with the news, and I still had the opportunity. So I was super grateful for that moment of surprise, especially when he thought that we had to just keep trying again. So it was just so sweet and so special. And I sometimes maybe we can add the video because we recorded it. But it was just such a special time. And we got home, and the first thing we did was we entered in the start of my last period into this app to see if it could help us figure out the due date. And then the due date ended up being December 13th, which is Brandon's grandmother's birthday, who passed.
That was super special.
And that was so special for him. So he cried again. And he was like, I didn't really get to mourn her death. And that was a time where he got to do that, but like with such gratitude. Wow. And with such joy. And it was like, baby, don't cry.
I'm not gonna cry on YouTube.
It was like a kiss. It was the sweetest kiss from God, where he's like, not only am I going to give you this yes, but I'm going to connect it to someone who you adore so much. And that was very special for us. So yeah, that's our journey to pregnancy. And once again, we really just want to encourage everyone who's still in that season of waiting to do something productive in that season of waiting. Figure out what God wants you and your husband to do while it's just y'all. You know what I mean? Because like, even in the season of singleness, you may not be waiting for a baby, but you may be waiting for a husband. What does he want you to do while you're single? What does he want you to do while you're unemployed? What can you do in this season that when what you're praying for gets there, you won't have time to do?
What can you release? What can you shed? Because there's so much.
Wow.
There's so much shedding that needs to be done to be the parent that God wants you to be, that God has, it's already written. So for you to get to that character, there's work that we need to do. And a lot of times we'll avoid doing that work, and that just delays our plan. So there's shedding involved. And once we found out, I'm like, wow, Brandon has a lot of work to do. And I'm sure Remy said the same thing, but it's not a bad thing. We just got to get right. So it's a good thing. We're super happy, and we just want we're thankful that you were able to watch this video and hear our story. And this is just the very beginning.
This is just our journey to pregnancy.
This is just to let you know where we are right now. We got months, we got 2 years to unfold. Right?
But we wanted to catch you guys up with our current season, our most exciting season, which is this pregnancy. And we can't wait to share everything else. We believe that next week we're going to go into the health trials that we've been going through with pregnancy. Because as much as we had to lean on God for this baby, we've had to lean on him through this process of pre-screens and genetic tests and anatomy scans and all of the things that you have to go through when you're creating a miracle with God.
Right.
My aunt said something super sweet. She said, becoming parent is the one time you get to co-create a miracle with God. She said it way more eloquently.
To partner with God
to create his like favorite thing or something like that.
Something
sweet.
Something sweet.
And we get to do that. So we're very blessed that we get to do that. And we have to lean on him so much. And he's a good father. And he gives great gifts. And this yes has been one of the great gifts he's given us. I would love to hear about some of the yeses he's giving you guys. And even if it's a no, stay in it. Don't give up. It's always dark when you're going through the wilderness. The tunnel's always dark, but you get to the end and it's light. And we just want to encourage you to keep going, to keep praying, to keep trusting in God, to keep believing, and to talk about things. You know, like, don't keep it bottled up. These things are real.
Hit us up.
We didn't know that it was this much of a journey to get pregnant. And I'm so grateful that we did have amazing couples in our circle who, one of which was going through the same exact thing. And we got to do that together. And this is why community is so important, because we are not meant to do life alone. We're not meant to be in it with just ourselves and our thoughts. That sends you into a really dark place. So find friends who have like-minded belief. You have us, write us, talk to us, we talk back. And
also find wise counsel also, you know, that you can relate to. Shout out to our pastors, our premarital counselors. They are vital in our household. They helped get us here where we are. So we're thankful that we can just pick up the phone, hit them up, text them, call them.
Wise counsel is key.
Wise counsel is key.
Wise
Your friends, wise friends. You want the people around you to support you through these wins and losses.
Someone once said, "Show me your friends, and I'll show you your future."
Okay.
So, look around and make sure you're encouraging people and you're being encouraged in return.
What you say? Be that.
Oh. Yeah. I didn't say this. Someone else said this. Become the person that the person you're looking for is looking for. And I can say that about friendship. Become the friend that you're looking for. And if we want people to show up for us, we have to show up for them. If we want people to sow into us, we have to sow into them. So all that to say, also, last thing, we're gonna let y'all go. We were trying to decide on the format for our channel, and we want to have like one consistent thing each episode. So we thought that it would be cool to answer 2 questions an episode. It does not have to be related to anything that we're talking about, but just so we can stay engaged with you guys and make sure that we're serving you, because that's what this is for. It's to serve you guys and to honor God by telling our story and living out our testimony. So whatever you want to know, ask us, email us. I'll put it in the, what did the people put it in the? Put it in the description. I will put it in the description box. We are so green.
Description box.
So you guys can reach out, and we look forward to reading your comments and hearing about hopefully how this blessed you or how it didn't. Be honest with us either way.
Yeah, it's all good. We're here. Hit us up. We're looking forward to your feedback. Again, we just here to encourage and to be encouraged, because if this is what you like, we got a lot to tell, and we will, because what we learned is our marriage is our ministry. So this is what we're putting out to serve others, to help like-minded people. So we love you. Thank you for.
Thank you.
Yeah, we thank you also.
Genuinely, thank you.
So we welcome you back. We're looking.
Please,
come on.
Please come back.
Yeah, pull up on us.
This was fun. We can't wait to talk to you next week. We're going to talk about our actual time of pregnancy up to 6 months and give you guys our health updates and stuff. So
let's talk about the baby moon.
Yeah, we'll talk about it all within our next video. So like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next Monday.
Love y'all.
Bye. What if it wasn't recording the whole time?
Thank you. You're trying to set me up.
There you go.
What? Congrats. For what? I can't see it.
It's for your promotion at work.
Get out of here. No. For real? Nah. No way.
There's a part 2.
No, I also never did it for the acting part.
No. It's April 1st.
I didn't. It was like very late.
You recorded me.
Baby, how do you feel that you're having a baby?
Set me up. You set me up to come to Cheesecake Factory and have him cry in front of everybody.
Are you excited?
I'm beyond excited.
You're gonna be a daddy!
Oh my goodness.
What do you want to tell your future baby?
I love you.
And you have a great mom.
Huh?
And you have a great mom.
And you have a great mom.